Happy Tuesday into happy Wednesday, depending upon when you are seeing this. We are here to talk about timeline arcs and the Zing, and you'll begin to find out what the Zing means here in just a bit. But I've got a couple of announcements for you. First, we are a go for What Happened to Kamala, my live that is on Zoom on Friday, this Friday, April the 18th, I'm getting that right, the 18th, at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. If you want to join, follow my link tree through on the link or go to my website, www.somaticmoney.com. Sign up over on the group tab. Number 2, I am beginning to do the Angel Invest on this. So if you want to be at the event and you are budget challenged, please email me, Dana, D-A-N-A, at somaticmoney.com, in just 2 sentences. 1, why you would like to be there, and 2, why it's a little bit challenging for you right now. I care. I want to know, and I've got some somatic money resources that I can share with you. Remember, people, I'm not just doing the intuitive, psychic, tuned in with all the national stuff. I'm also the new feminine money lady, and I probably can help you out with a few insights, and I'm happy to be here to connect a few dots for you. So those are the first 2 announcements. The third announcement, Spirit Team was all over me. They were like, set up your next event, set up your next event. So the next event after that is Friday, April the 25th, 2025, also at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And we are doing Manifesting for Spiritual Misfits. That's right. You heard that right, because I'm a spiritual misfit and I have never been able to get manifesting to work for me the way that the traditional spiritual community has always shown it. And it suddenly dawned on me like, oh my God, I know I'm not the only person out there like that. So we are going to do a workshop, a mini workshop on troubleshooting all the different quirky things of manifesting that sometimes come up that don't necessarily get answered to. So that's going to be the 25th. So 2 events. I will be doing angel investing on both of those, but our angel invest right now is solely focused on the one for this Friday. So those are the announcements for now. Next, what I would like you to know is that the candid version of this is going to be over on BlueSky and SkyLight. I am getting shadow banned so horribly on TikTok. They're beginning to do some weird things to my account. YouTube has also been doing some weird things to my account, and I'm feeling the squeeze, and yet I want a voice. So I think I'm going to be using BlueSky and SkyLight to do some of those really quick, candid psychic hits. So if you want to begin picking up on those, you might want to go over to that channel. So for now, for this video, as promised, Spirit Team has been all over me about these timeline arcs the last couple of days. And remember, I brought up the timeline arcs last week, and that's that whole thing about, the whole space-time here, and it kind of and it connecting up into an arc. Spirit Team said, Dana, we need you to get in front of people again this week. It's going to heat up again this week. And guess what? I was looking at my forecast. I didn't even talk about this on my forecast. Remember this right here? That is a timeline jump, but it's only 1 day. So I'm like, yeah, but guess what? This is exactly what happened last week. It was a single day, and that was when the timeline arc was going on. And so Spirit Team wants me to get in front of you and just say, hey, heads up, right around that Thursday, Friday, Saturday area, kind of right where that timeline blip on the radar is, pay attention to those timeline arcs where it feels like, the space-time continuum of where you might be functioning in other dimensions begins to connect up with this space-time continuum and connects up like a timeline arc kind of thing. Personally, I've had this happen a couple times. I haven't shared it here on video, but right around the time, oh my God, this is a little bit personal, a little emotional. Right at the time when I was going through the anniversary of the loss of my son and also my own near-death experience, because they happened in tandem. I was 6 months pregnant tapped out with preeclampsia, 275 over 175 blood pressure, seizing, landed in the hospital. We lost our son. I was on life support for 36 hours. It was questionable whether I was going to make it or not. Definitely came back. But every single year on that anniversary date, and I call it my death rebirth day and Kenyon's death rebirth day, every single day every single time on that anniversary, Kenyon shows up in one way, shape, form, or another with messaging or connection, and like the veil gets a little bit thinner. Well, he did it again this year. Okay, he did it again this year, and it was actually quite large because he brought through his unborn sister. Like I was supposed to have him and a daughter, Hannah, and I wasn't able to land him, and I never got pregnant again, so Hannah wasn't able to come through. They were kind of like twins. And so this year, at that time, at that death rebirth anniversary mark, the veil got really thin. Kenyon showed up really viscerally with his sister, and there was messaging and a feeling of like, I could feel that timeline arc. I could feel that energy. And he basically came through and he said, Mom. Actually, he doesn't say mom. He says, Mother. It's very formal. His sister is not. She's all like, hey. But Kenyon comes through all formal. He's like, Mother. He basically said, Mother, what you are doing in the time-space continuum that you're in is creating a situation for us to have a full family in another dimension. And that has never been possible before. And that was really wonderful for me to hear because, I don't know if you guys can pick up or not. Like, I'm going through my own challenges. Like, I'm not immune. It has definitely not been easy for me. And sometimes I really question, like, why am I still here? Why am I still doing this? Why didn't I just cross over, right? And he came back and visited me on our anniversary of our death rebirth days. Him letting me know that what I am doing here in another dimensional space is creating a whole other level of family that's never been able to happen for us in our family lines. And so that was really heartening for me. And that's what Spirit World would call a timeline arc. Two time-space continuums that are kind of like concurrent or symbiotic, the veil thinning enough for them to be able to touch so that we can actually have an experience and a connection and an interaction there. And Spirit World wants me to highlight this in front of you so that if a supernatural anomaly happens or something kind of out of the extraordinary happens, it's beyond ration, like there's a feeling from Spirit World of like they really want you to pay attention to this because they're saying this is going to heat up more and more and more. And this is actually going to lead into some very interesting things this summer. I'm beginning to see some stuff on the horizon energetically that it's like, oh my God, we are going to be doing some multi-dimensional things. Like it's heating up to a point. We're going to do some multi-dimensional things that are kind of unexplainable. And that begins to happen somewhere in the middle of this summer. That's how much, the more the dark pushes one way, the more we are getting to a whole other level. And there's a feather falling right there. Angel. Anyway, so that is what I've got for you on timeline arcs. Now, as far as the zing. So what I'm beginning to find out is that I have some really candid psychic things about our national situation that I want to share. And I just can't do that openly anymore on TikTok and even on YouTube. So I'm going to say just a little bit of a general stuff so you can kind of pick up on it. And then I am going to like land it really good. And that video is going to go on BlueSky and SkyLight just so I can keep voicing. The zing that I can share with you is that overall, they have pushed things too far. Like, I definitely felt it somewhat on Friday, but the legal things that were happening on Monday concerning an American man and an international prison. When that all went down on Monday, and now today is Tuesday, I woke up this morning with Spirit Team saying they pushed it too far. It's not going to be long now. Now, I've got specifics, I've got details, and I am going to go put those over on BlueSky and SkyLight if you would like to hear them. That's what I've got for you today, so make sure you keep walking forward to meet those freaking miracles along the way, and I will see you in the next video.